Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here. So, it's time for the next episode of Movie Didn't Need a Sequel. And today, guys, I'm going to be talking about why, in my opinion, an animated film did not need sequels today. This is an animated movie, guys, not made by Pixar, for example, or DreamWorks or Sony or anything like that, really. But this time, it's going to be for an animation company, which is Blue Sky, guys. And this movie, guys, is going to be actually a sequel, ironically, and also a third installment. And that's, of course, none of what is my third to his franchise, which is, of course, 2009's Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So, yeah, I really love this film, guys. It's my favourite Ice Age movie of all time. Really great movie. And in my opinion, a film that did not need sequels. So, what I think of the franchise overall. So, I, of course, love the first movie. Great start to Blue Sky Studios, in my opinion, guys. I love the first movie. I also do the second movie, Ice Age 2: A Meltdown. Great movie, in my opinion. Really fun to watch. Nice sequel to the first movie. And my third area of the franchise is great because it introduces its great characters, of course. One of them, of course, being Ellie. And yeah. And the franchise as a whole has great characters. You know, my favourite character in the franchise would have to be Manny. He's really funny. I do also, of course, love Sid and Diego. And, of course, I also love Ellie as well. And, of course, I love how the third movie, of course, introduces probably my other favourite characters, of course, which is Buck, voiced by Simon Pegg. And, yeah. So in my opinion, guys, Dawn of the Dinosaurs had a really phenomenal ending, in my opinion. It really did. A great way to close the story because at the end of the movie, Manny is starting a family with Ellie, and we have a daughter called Peaches. And it has a really, great way to wrap up the story on a very high note, in my opinion. Really beautiful way to close the story, most definitely. Just great way to wrap up the story, absolutely, no doubts about that. And I really wish, they didn't do any more after this, because this movie ended on a very high note and a great way to close the franchise. So I like to pretend, guys, that Ice Age is only these 3 films alone. That's how I like to pretend, really. But then, of course, sadly, in 2012, this was very unfortunately deemed not to be, because we unfortunately got a 4th installment, which, of course, was Ice Age Continental Drift. Oh dear, what on earth was this movie? This movie was not needed whatsoever. It was very inferior to the first 3 films, and it lacked the charm and charisma that they had. And it was unnecessary. It was not needed because the third movie had an amazing ending. It really did. It was probably only made to cash in, maybe. I don't know why they had to do a sequel in the first place, really. And it was just full of stupid things, really, which really annoyed me. Plot holes and also a subplot of romance between Diego and a love interest called Shira, which was not needed at all. And was pretty pointless. And it recycled things from the Meltdown as well. And also from Finding Nemo as well. And it's also as well ruined the character introduced in the third movie, which of course was Peaches, who is the daughter of Manny and Ellie. And oh my goodness, right, they made her so unlikable in this movie. They really did. They really ruined her. Goodness me. I don't even know what happened to her. They really ruined her. Can't believe that happened, really. Goodness me. They made her so unlikable. That's why I only like her most as a baby in the third movie when she was born, of course. She was likable in the third movie and also in that Christmas special that she was in as well. But in this, she was an absolute brat and I hated her. She was so incredibly annoying in the films, guys. I couldn't stand her at all. And then again, this film was trying to include way too many subplots anyway. It was pretty annoying, really. And yeah, it was just so incredibly stupid, really. And was not needed. And the villains were also, in my opinion, pretty weak too. And I think the idea of pirates being in a prehistoric movie is also not needed at all and is out of place. Just really stupid. I don't know why they did that. There's no purpose whatsoever to be in the movie. And yeah, just really stupid in my opinion. I mean, I don't even know what was really much good about the 4th movie. Probably the animation, the voice acting, maybe, and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a very not needed sequel in my opinion. And then, of course, as well, sadly, however, despite me not liking this movie, we, of course, then got a 5th installment somehow, guys, which was probably, in my opinion, the worst movie made by Blue Sky of all time. And that's, of course, none other than 2016's Ice Age Collision Course. Oh my god, right. This movie was just garbage. It really was. Like, definitely, in my opinion, the absolute worst of Blue Sky's films, in my opinion. It was just terrible, in my opinion. Like, goodness me. I don't know what happened with this movie at all. It was so awful from start to finish. Like, what on earth was this film? I really don't know. Like, it barely had any originality whatsoever. Like, goodness me. And what's also dumb is, despite being, you know, like a movie about prehistoric times, guys, it includes sci-fi things like spaceships. So, like, like, UFOs don't belong in a prehistoric franchise at all. And that is just so absolutely stupid, in my opinion. Really is. Like, it made me really angry seeing that. Like, oh my god. And they also, as well, ruined Scrat because he, of course, wears a spacesuit, of course, in the movie, which is just incredibly stupid. It really is. Oh my god. Yeah, it was just absolute garbage, in my opinion, guys. Definitely, in my opinion, the worst of, you know, worst of what Blue Sky did. You know, this was one small step for Blue Sky in 20th Century Fox and one giant mess for the entire Ice Age franchise. Oh my god, it was just so terrible. Really was. And I can see why it got panned, because I hated the movie as well when I saw it, guys. Because I watched the films in a marathon, you know, last year. And I hated this movie. It was just terrible and not needed at all, in my opinion. That's why I pretend that Ice Age truly ended, of course, with the third movie, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. But sadly, however, guys, despite Blue Sky, of course, shutting down last year, this wouldn't even mean the end of a franchise because a year after Blue Sky shut down, we got a spin-off sequel, guys, which in my opinion is probably the absolute worst of a franchise, which of course is none other than The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Oh my god, right. As I've said in my community post where I announced I'd seen the movie, and also in my ranking video, this movie was just a complete waste of time. Really was. It was hot garbage from start to finish, guys, and it makes 4 and 5 look like masterpieces in comparison. It was terrible. Like, and this was not made by Blue Sky. It was instead made by Disney, guys, because Blue Sky shut down. And the only good thing I can say about this movie is that Simon Pegg returned as Buck, and he's still the likable character he was before, in my opinion. But what's bad is that he's the only actor to return, because every other cast member from the previous films got recasted in this, which is just so stupid. Really is. The franchise has overstayed its welcome, because in my opinion the third movie is where it truly ended. And honestly, like, and the voices for the new who replaced the original actors, in my opinion, were miscast. They were terrible, in my opinion. They sounded nothing like the original actors, in my opinion, at all. Horrendous voice acting, in my opinion, apart from Simon Pegg, who reprised his role. And the animation is also a huge step down compared to the first 5 films. I mean, it's so sad that a movie which is 20 years before this movie being the first Ice Age film has better animation than this, because the animation of this is so bad, it looks like a PS3 cutscene. It is that bad. Like, goodness me. Like, oh my god, it was just horrendous. Like, I couldn't believe that. And also as well, despite this movie being called The Adventures of Buck Wild, the movie doesn't even focus on Buck. It instead focuses more on Crash and Eddie. So they should have called this film The Ice Age Adventures of Crash and Eddie, not Buck, because the movie isn't really about Buck. Honestly, this movie was just absolute trash, guys. In my opinion, the worst movie I've seen of this year so far. It was just absolutely horrendous. Like, goodness me. An absolutely terrible spin-off movie, in my opinion, guys. Like, I don't know why they made it in the first place, all, because, like I've said, guys, they shouldn't have made any films after the third one. The third one, in my opinion, is where it truly ended. Just this film is where it ended. They shouldn't have made any more after this. But honestly, it was just terrible, in my opinion. Really bad movie. Like, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking watching this movie, guys. I guess I only watched it just so I could do my ranking video back in early this year, of course. But yeah, this film was just absolute garbage. Goodness me. So yeah, now when it comes to this franchise, guys, as far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 Ice Age films, and what I own is I of course own the first movie, which I do love, of course, and also as well The Meltdown, the second movie, and of course, my favourite, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. There's no way I'm ever going to buy Continental Drift or Collision Course. Hell no, there's no way I'm buying that garbage, and I doubt that Butt Wild's going to be released on DVD anytime soon because it is a Disney Plus exclusive film, guys. So, or as I call it, D-. But, you know, it could probably get on DVD soon, maybe, who knows. But if it does, there's no one going to buy it. Hell no. Like, I don't see a point of owning it at all. The only ones I'm ever going to own will be the original 3. And in my opinion, guys, Ice Age is only just one trilogy and that's it. Just one trilogy alone. 3 films and that's it. There's no way I'm ever going to own the others. And yeah. So, like, it's a shame that the franchise had to, you know, go downhill with these awful films after the 3rd one, isn't it, really? Because, yeah. Because this movie, Ice Age 3, guys, is probably my 2nd favourite overall Blue Sky film behind Robots. So, yeah. Like, honestly, I can't believe what came after this movie was just terrible. It's just shocking, really. So, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, guys, there's only 3 Ice Age movies. And in my opinion, the true end of the franchise is Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So, guys, this is me doing, you know, my video on why, in my opinion, Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs didn't need sequels. Because I hate what came after it. And, I mean, seriously, guys, right? If I wasn't doing a ranking video of the films or planning to review the films in the future, I'd have probably turned off the sequels early into them because it was just so bad. I'd have probably turned them off, like, pretty early in because they were just awful, in my opinion. Especially Butt Wild, of course. Yeah, that was horrendous from start to finish. Absolute abomination. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave in the comments what you guys think of Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Do you think it needed sequels or not? Also, be sure to join the team by pressing subscribe and movies coming in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press one of using a piece of that, or you can look in the description, and I'll see you all later.